From the soundtrack to the 1990 movie of the same name, that's Dave Stewart and Candy Dulfer with Lily Was Here on Freedom FM. Well, good morning to you. My name is Feargal and you've tuned into the second hour of Freedom FM's Night Cruise. And as well as the music, you've joined us just in time to get involved in our weekly Love Slowed Down game. And if you're new to these parts and are wondering to yourself what that's all about, let me fill you in, because you see, before the show started, I snuck into the production studio here at the station and I picked out a famous 90s or noughties romance, relaxing or even chill song, and I slowed it down from whatever speed it's at to 33 and a bit RPM, and I recorded a short snippet which I'm going to play for you in a moment. And if you recognize the song and the artist, then all you got to do is reach out and tell me who and what it is. And if you're right, you might just hear your name on the radio a little bit later on. But before I tell you how you can get in touch, why don't we have our first listen to this week's Love Slowed Down. So if you think you know the song and the artist and fancy being with the chance to win yourself a radio shout out just before 2, then drop me a message on WhatsApp to 086 206 8888. That's 086 206 8888 and tell me what song this is. So if you know who that is, then shoot me over a WhatsApp to 086 206 8888. That's 086 206 8888. And if you don't know who it is, but fancy being with the shot of getting a partial name check on the radio, then we invite you to join our Midnight Messers. And to do that, just send in the most ridiculous answer you can think of. And if it makes us smile, then you might just hear your name on the radio after the rest of us hear from TLC. This is Freedom FM's Night Cruise, the best in 90s and noughties, romance, relaxing and chilled songs anywhere on your radio. And I can tell you that I've got a WhatsApp here from Niall Kemp, who's in Westport in Mayo. Feargal says, Niall, if you can, could you play a love song for my amazing wife, Jean, who's the most brilliant mum to our kids, Jerry and Tony. It's her birthday today, so please tell Jean that I love her with all of my heart, says Neil. So happy to do that for you. Now, I can also tell you that Fiona Pearson has been in touch with me from Ennis in County Clare, and she wants me to send all her love to her wonderful husband, Roger Pearson. It was our 15th wedding anniversary on Sunday, says Fiona. So can you tell him thank you for all the wonderful memories with many more to come? Of course I can, Fiona. And happy wedding anniversary to you and to Roger. So for both of you, as well as Niall and Jean, here's some Westlife. Yes. He was in town the other week, wasn't he? From November 2005, that's James Blunt on the Night Cruise, where we are in the middle of playing this week's Love Slowed Down game. The game where your challenge is to guess what song and artist it is that I have slowed down from listening to just a short snippet. But before I remind you of this week's Love Slowed Down, I have to tell you that it's that time of the evening when we give a bit of a nod to our Midnight Messers. You know, those people who in exchange for a partial name check here on the radio send in deliberately incorrect yet hopefully funny answers to the games that we play on Freedom FM's Night Cruise. So with that in mind, I'd like to say hello to John in the Liberties here in Dublin, who says, surely Fergs, this week's Love Slowed Down isn't the Macarena by Los Del Rio. You know what, John? It isn't. You are correct. Now, your friend and mine, Mary in Beaumont, says, Feargal, if I'm not mistaken, Chumbawamba's Thub Thumping isn't this week's Love Slowed Down, is it? Correct again, it isn't. Thank you, Mary. And I can definitely reassure Pete in Cabra that this morning's Love Slowed Down isn't the sign by Ace of Base. Right, with those Midnight Messers mentioned, let's get back to the serious matter at hand and have another listen to this week's Love Slowed Down, shall we? So if you think you've got it and you know what song and artist that is, then why not take a shot at possibly winning yourself a full name check on the radio in a bit? And all you got to do that is send me in your answer on WhatsApp or text to 086 206 8888. That's 086 206 8888. That's Gabrielle, who will be in The Point at the end of the week, and if you're interested, there are some tickets still available. Anyway, from June 1993, that's Dreams on Freedom FM's Night Cruise. Now, if you have been playing along with our Love Slowed Down game for the past hour, you know, the game where you have to tell me the name of a song and the artist from hearing just a slowed down snippet, the good news is it's time to find out if you've got yourself a mention on the radio. But before we do that, here is a reminder of the song that you have been guessing at. As always, so many of you wise night owls sent me in the correct answer, but if you're a regular listener, you know the studio PC only lets me see 4 names at any one time. So with that in mind, let me say hello and good morning to Eric Jenkins, who sent his answer in from Glasnevin, Monica Evans, who reached out to me from Donna Bates, Gary Giles, who WhatsApped from Sutton, and Linda Carroll, who is in Whitehall this morning, who all correctly said that this morning's Love Slowed Down is... hang on a moment, just before I tell you, if you enjoyed playing Love Slowed Down, then you know what you've got to do. Tell a friend and come back next Monday just after 1 when we'll do it all over again. As for this week's Love Slowed Down, it's The Pretenders, and I'll stand by you. Annie Lennox and No More I Love Yous tells me that is all the mess I can make of your radio for now. Thank you for your company, both you and your messages made to this show, as they always do. Now listen up, because I can tell you that young Mike O'Brien will be here with breakfast at 8, and before him, Alan will do the 1995 Freedom Years from 7. As for me, well, the good news is, or the bad news, depending on your point of view, I'll be back with another night cruise at about 11 o'clock this evening. Until then, my friends, enjoy the rest of your Monday, and thank you for your time this time, and until next time, why don't you take care of yourselves and, of course, each other.